Fine. In this video, I want to discuss the issue of Bihari migrant laborers because largest number of migrant laborers undoubtedly comes from Bihar. Bihar has 36 lakhs migrant laborers. Although there is a problem in proper calculation, but based on many surveys now, it can be safely concluded that Bihar sends 36 to 37 lakhs migrant laborers in various states of India. Whenever there is a crisis, man-made crisis, political crisis, economic crisis, or natural disaster and pandemic-like situation, the biggest sufferers of all such crises are the migrants from Bihar. Although migrants from other states equally suffer, but it is the migrant laborers from Bihar which suffer maximum. Now the question is, and this question has been raised by many people, what causes this structural migration from Bihar to other states? Okay, so there are different types of migration: agricultural labor migration, industrial laborers migration. Majority at present are industrial laborers migrants. Unfortunately, this migrant laborers, the majority is of unorganized sector. They work under unorganized sector. So almost that's the problem. We don't have absolutely verified data, but presumably based on various surveys, around 85 to 90% these laborers are self-employed. Only 15 to, I mean 10 to 15% are or might be properly employed under organized sector, MSMEs, mostly under MSMEs, construction companies, etc. So this 80-85% people, they are self-employed. They are either doing some small businesses, rickshaw pullers, or casual laborers. Casual laborers constitute the highest number, working mostly under contractors, labor contractors, etc., etc., etc. There is no what formalization under contract laborers also. So even though contract construction sector comes under organized sector, but the laborers who work under construction sector, they are absolutely informal because they are supplied by labor contractors without any proper documentation, without any social safety net. They don't get any social safety net, and this pandemic has also proven that the payment is not directly made by the contract the construct builders directly to the laborers. It is on contract basis directly paid to the labor contractors, and it is labor contractor which pays it to the laborers after having got his own commission cut, etc. Right. Now the question is, why Bihar supplies this much of migrant laborers to other states? Other states, UP also has migrant laborers, but the population of UP is double to that of Bihar population. But the number of migrant laborers are less than the Bihar's migrant laborers. So according to one record which I read, the UP migrant laborers, not the students and etc. UP migrant laborers working in agriculture and industry, their number is below 30 lakhs. In case of Bihar, it is 36 lakhs. It means that UP somehow has the capacity to absorb its own laborers. Bihar doesn't have this capacity. It is directly related to the level of industrialization. So it is the level of industrialization that determines the movement of its laborers. So Bihar has highest number of migrant labor, that is directly related with the fact that it has least industrialization. Now, what are the reasons that there is no industrialization? There could be many historical reasons, there could be geographic reasons, there could be other reason, but of late the most important reason is that the politics of Bihar continues to revolve around non-economic issues, descriptive issues only, and that is even in description it's only caste issue. So when caste is the main determining factor, main consolidating factor in electoral politics, then then certainly this caste-based politics does not give any space to economic issues. So economic issues are on the periphery in Bihar politics. For last 30 years, Bihar is characterized by a politics that has been centered around caste and caste and caste, nothing else. The same people, the same laborers who have, there is another figure that this migrant laborers from Bihar are mostly from lower caste who have necessitated caste politics in India. When it comes to vote, then their vote is on the basis of caste, never demanding from their leaders industrialization. So, social justice in India has been given a tragic direction, a dangerous direction, where votes are demanded and given in the name of caste, but but when it comes to economic disasters, then the same people, the same migrant, the same migrant laborers, they become angry, frustrated, start reacting angrily, abusing whichever the government is there working in Bihar. But this anger never translates into a political agenda. This anger evaporates as the elections come. The moment election comes, for example, so the failure of industrialization in Bihar is not only because the leadership is not ready to take up this issue seriously, but also because of its failure on the part of people, the victims, the sufferers, migrant laborers themselves, to convert their sufferings, to convert their exploitation into a political agenda. So we will see, even at the peak of laborers' suffering, migrant laborers of Bihar, the suffering at the peak, in the coming election that is due in this year, November, or maybe it might be delayed by 1 or 2 months to maximum December, whatever. Failure of this suffering, agony into a concrete economic agenda. So when it comes to election, then we bounce back to the descriptive issue, emotional issues. We fail to make our own real suffering, genuine suffering into the real political agenda, aspirational agenda. So ascriptive agenda overtakes the aspirational agenda. That's the real failure. So long as the politics, electoral politics of caste, Bihar, revolves around casteism, there is no end to migrant laborers suffering. It's going to continue.